Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be trying out my Sephora sale haul. So I shared the things that I bought from the Sephora sale in my last video, or one of my last videos, and we're going to try those things out. Today I can't try everything because I have some doubles of certain categories, so I can't try everything, but I will eventually in other videos. So let's get started. If you are new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty and makeup content on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I hope you'll subscribe, and let's go ahead and get into makeup. Starting out with a primer. I've kind of talked about how I've been trying out a lot of primers lately and trying to find the best ones. I did buy a new primer, but I'm kind of hesitant to use it. It's the Iconic London Underglow Blurring Primer. I bought it and the skin tint that goes with it. And I kind of want to use this, but I also kind of don't want to try something like this with the Haus Labs foundation, which is what we're going to use today. I did also get the Sephora Sparkly Clean set, and it came with this milk primer, a mini Pore Eclipse mattifying primer. So I kind of want to go in with this, but then the other part of me doesn't. I just want to go in with that foundation. So maybe we'll do that. We'll try these primers in upcoming videos, but I just don't want anything to interfere with the foundation since I've never tried it. So I'm going to try to get the very last bit out of this milk spray, and we'll just use this as our primer. I've used this many times as primer, and my makeup does really well with it. I'm going to kind of tap this in because that was the very end of the bottle. So it kind of sprayed at me. So that was the Milk Hydro Grip Spray, and I did buy a new one because I'm obsessed with this stuff. So that Milk Setting Spray has definitely set down, and now I'm so excited to try the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. I think one of the last people on YouTube, at least, to try this. When this came out, I knew it came out, but I just wasn't super drawn to it. And then the more I heard about it, the more I saw people using it, the more curious I became. So we're trying it today. I got the shade 160, and I kind of talked about this in my haul video, but the shades on these are very unusual. So I would personally not recommend ordering online. If you can help it, I would go into a store and at least look at some of the shades in person, because the photos on the website or on the Sephora app don't really help that much, and the undertones are very unusual. So this is shade 160. So that is one pump. It's not a ton. I'm gonna do like a pump and a quarter, and we won't try this out. I'm dying to see what all the hype is about. One of the things that kind of grabbed my attention after the fact with this foundation is the ingredients. It has a lot of really good ingredients, which is not that common in makeup, especially in foundations. Okay, I'm just gonna use a Sigma F80 brush to start blending this in. So this is supposed to be a medium buildable coverage. Okay, I feel like the shade is pretty good. Looks kind of crazy. I normally do my under eye corrector before foundation, but I figured we'll just start with foundation today since that was one of the main products I was excited to try. It definitely blends very easily. It's definitely not matte, definitely not super, super dewy though. It is, I would say, just kind of a natural finish. So I feel like it gave pretty decent coverage initially, and I still have a good bit on the back of my hand. So I'm gonna take some on a sponge this time, and I just wanna see how it applies with a sponge and just see how buildable it is. Because they do say it's medium coverage, but it is buildable. If you are new to my videos, my two favorite foundations at the moment are the Patrick Ta Major Skin and the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. And I have pretty normal skin. My skin is not dry, and I wouldn't say it's oily either. I tend to maybe get a little bit oily in my T-zone, but that's about it. I have pretty sensitive skin, but not really a ton of skin issues. So this is what it looks like. I kind of used what was on my hand, which was about 1.25 pumps, and this is what it looks like. It's very pretty. It's kind of hard for me to judge it until I put corrector under my eyes. It's very pretty though. And considering I didn't apply like a pore filling or pore diffusing primer or anything, it's not severely emphasizing pores, but I don't have super, super large pores, and that's not something I really struggle with. I do have a little bit of pores that you can kind of see right here in this area, but it looks pretty good. I want to go ahead and put on some corrector, and I'll be back. I don't have a new one, so I'm just going to do that quickly, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. The power of corrector. It just wows me every time. It makes such a difference. I'm telling you, if you're curious, the one I have on is Bobbi Brown in the shade Bisque. So now I feel like I can kind of look at this more closely. Now I feel like my skin looks really, really good because I'm not distracted by my under eyes. I'm definitely very skeptical because I love the NARS Light Reflecting and Patrick Ta Major Skin, which is a cream, but I'm not gonna lie, this looks pretty freaking good, you guys. Very good, and I feel like this shade is the best match for me. Again, this is 160 Neutral. To me, I still think this shade is a little bit warm. I personally, just from looking at the shades in the store, think the shades, even the neutral ones, run warm. And then if you're not familiar, the undertones in this foundation are opposite. So if it says warm, it's actually a cooler tone, and if it's a cool shade, it's actually a warmer tone. And the neutrals, I guess, are supposed to be neutral. I personally think they run pretty warm. Very excited to see how this wears, you guys, because I'm pretty impressed with how it looks right now. Moving on to concealer, I did get the new Milk Makeup Future Fluid Concealer in the shade 7 Neutral Warm. This, I'm sure you've seen this all over. I feel like a lot of people have been talking about this one. And I think this is supposed to be a pretty full coverage concealer. So I'm very excited to try it. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Sigma F03 brush and start tapping this in. Okay, yeah, so a little bit of this definitely goes a very long way. I mean, that spread like instantly. I'm gonna go over my under eyes with a damp sponge. That Milk concealer is definitely a pretty full coverage. I would definitely agree. You do not need very much of it to get quite a bit of coverage. So there it is. I mean, my under eyes look very, very flawless at the moment. I have not set it obviously with anything, but I do have the corrector underneath as well. But that looks very good. A lot of coverage with not a lot of product. So I feel like this is probably going to be one I would also use all over the face. In fact, oh yeah, all over cream concealer. Yeah, I would totally agree with that. For this type of formula, I feel like you could definitely just use this. Pretty good though, you guys. Pretty good. I feel like this shade is pretty good too. It goes pretty well with the foundation. Let's move on to bronzer. I only have one new bronzer, and it's the Merit Bronze Balm. It looks like this. And I kind of talked about this in my haul video, but this was not on my radar at all. It wasn't on my wish list or anything, but I saw it in the store. I swatched it and I was just really curious about it. This is described by the brand as the easiest bronzer ever, which I'm not really surprised by because when I swatched it in store, it is extremely creamy, and I mean, I'm barely touching my hand and it blends. So I will be very curious to see how this does. This might be an interesting choice with this foundation and concealer combo since these have more coverage. This is definitely more of a natural product, I would say, but we're gonna try it. I'm not gonna draw directly on my face because I don't want to mess up the foundation we have underneath. So I am just gonna grab some on the stick on my brush. This is the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy A507. Okay, yeah, so super natural. As you can see, it's very pretty. I have the shade Clay, which is the second to lightest shade, I believe. But yes, very, very natural. Guess I will draw on a little bit more. I just always hesitate to do that because I don't want to move the foundation I have underneath, but we'll try it. Okay, initially, this really reminds me in terms of how it looks and how it applies to the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer. It's a very similar formula, very, very creamy. This one's just in a stick, that one is in a compact. But the overall feel, look of it, application, all that is reminding me of the Makeup by Mario. So if you have that product and you love it, you would probably love this, but I do think they're pretty similar. I'm going to add some more to my forehead, but I'm gonna draw it on up here because I'm not as worried about picking anything up around my hairline. So I'm just going to tap this in. So it's very natural. Would definitely say this is more of like a quick 5-10 minute makeup kind of bronzer, not really like a full face of makeup bronzer. But it is nice, it's pretty. I like the color. The color I have in Makeup by Mario is light medium. That one is a bit more cool toned. This is definitely more of a warm shade, and most of the colors when I was looking in store look to be pretty warm. So far it's very pretty. Let's add a little bit actually to my jawline and down my neck, since I do have this top that's pretty open on right here. So I'll bring it down. I would agree, I mean, it is extremely easy to blend. I mean, it's effortless, truly. Okay, moving on to blush. Of course, I have a few blushes that I'm trying to decide which one I want to use. I do have this duo from Iconic London, but I'm thinking I'm going to wait and use all of these together. So we'll wait on the Iconic London. I really want to use the Rose Ink blush. So this one is the Lip and Cheek in Heliotrope, and this is the one that came in the Sparkly Clean set. I have swatched it, but I have not actually applied it. So we're going to do that. And then we may add a little bit of this. This is my Pat McGrath blush in Nude Venus. But I really want to try this Heliotrope blush because so many of you told me you have these and you love them. So I am very excited to try it. So I'm gonna get some on that same brush. I absolutely love this brush for cheek products of any kind, particularly creams, but you can use this for powder blush, powder bronzer as well. But I love this from BK Beauty, the A507. So I got some on the brush, and as I normally do, I'm gonna kind of tap it on my hand. I don't know how much pigment these typically have. And then we will just, oh no, I just pulled my hair out. Oh well. We will just tap it on. Ooh yeah, that's a very beautiful peachy pink. Love that. Okay, I feel like this formula is reminding me of something, but I cannot put my finger on what it is. Oh gosh, this color though. Oh my Lord, I love it. No wonder so many of you told me that you have this color and you love it. And it comes, the full size of it comes in the Sparkly Clean set from Sephora. When this video goes up, the sale should still be going on. And based on just this blush alone, I think that set is definitely worth looking into. Wow, okay. Very, very into this so far. Now, should we do powder blush? I kind of like how it looks on its own, but you know I want to try this from Pat McGrath, the, I always forget the name of these, the Divine Blush in Nude Venus. So I had mentioned in my haul video, I wanted the shade Nude Venus because I have that lipstick from Pat McGrath in Nude Venus that I love. I just love the color. It's that balmy kind of formula. It's not one of her matte lipsticks. I forget the name, but I'll pop it up on the screen. But I love that shade. So I really wanted the blush in the same color. Don't really need any more blush, but I feel like these colors will pair well. So you know I'm gonna put just a little bit on. I'm gonna take another angled brush. This is the Smashbox angled blush brush. And I'm gonna get some on there and kind of tap it because I don't wanna overdo it, but I do just wanna add a little bit of this. Yeah, these colors, you guys, pair really well together. Ooh, I love it. Love that combo together. All right, it's time to use some powder, and we're gonna try the Haus Labs powder. This is the Bio Blurring Loose Setting Powder in the shade Translucent. I actually did not plan on trying the powder. I was just gonna try the foundation, but I noticed a lot of people were buying it, and the reviews online so far have been pretty good from what I've seen. So it looks like this. It has like the netting in it. So basically you tap your brush in and it comes out through the netting. So I'm gonna use this Sephora. This is actually one of their older highlighter brushes. It's just a little tiny brush. And I'm gonna get the powder on. So a lot of it comes out, just FYI, when you go in. So I'm gonna kind of press it off on my hand. And we are gonna go, okay, that definitely blurred, like majorly blurred on that side. Do you see the difference between this and this in this area? I'm gonna do the same thing on this side, and I'm kind of really focusing most of the powdering in this area because that is where I personally notice pores on my face. But like I said in the beginning, I don't really struggle with texture a ton on my skin. The only place I ever really notice it is like right here. But holy crap, that really did blur, you guys. It almost reminds me of that Givenchy powder, which is also very good. It's very expensive. This one is not cheap either, but it's not as much as the Givenchy. Okay, I feel like that really was good. Okay, very good. Very impressed with this. I'm going to add, I think, just a little bit more right here under my eyes, even though I feel like I don't need a whole lot. Let me look up close. So that concealer, I mean, there's a tiny bit of creasing, or not, it's not even really creasing, it's just everybody has these tiny little lines that are very close to your lash line, and the more or the closer you get product to those little lines, the more likely it's gonna kind of collect there. But the concealer does not look bad. We'll just use this. This is the Morphe REL A14. And we'll do this eye first. But honestly, I'm literally just gonna tap. So this eye has the powder and this eye doesn't. I mean, this is, they're not kidding when they say blurring on this. This is very blurring. Wow, okay, I'm very impressed with the powder. And I was not thinking that was gonna be something I was very into, but I mean, I feel like that did a really good job. Very excited about this. Let me know if you've tried this powder yet. I feel like I haven't seen nearly as much about the powder as I have about the foundation, but that is very good. All right, you guys, the time has come. I'm so excited to try this new Dior palette. This is the Backstage palette in Khaki Neutrals. I swatched this in my haul video, so if you haven't seen that and you want to see swatches, they're in the other video. But I just cannot wait to put this on my eyes, you guys. These colors, these greens, I cannot wait. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyes with the primer that comes in the palette. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do on my eyes. This primer is nice though. It doesn't have a ton of color to it, but it does have just a little bit of pigment, so it does kind of help even out your eyelids if you have a lot of discoloration like I do. Let's get into the palette. I'm gonna go into this shade in the corner first. This is called Golden Tan, and I don't know how much color I'm gonna get from this, but I kind of want to lay this down initially and just kind of see. Okay, so yeah, you don't get a ton of color, but actually it's a very good transition color. And this is described as a satin formula, this particular shade. Oh yeah, but the blend on these. So I kind of mentioned this in my haul video. This formula from Dior is very luxurious. And what I mean by that is it's not, I don't know what it is, but something about how buildable, and they're not intense right off the bat. So they're not going to give you, you know, crazy intense pigment, but they are buildable. But if you're like me, I don't personally love a super pigmented eyeshadow formula all the time. Sometimes that can be good, but it can also be kind of hard to work with. Okay, so that shade is stunning. That shade on its own, just for every day, would be very pretty. I'm gonna grab the middle shade, which is, they say pure gold. To me, it's, I mean, it looks kind of like a khaki taupey kind of color, but they call it pure gold. And I'm gonna put this everywhere. I'm gonna put it on my lid and just kind of tap it all the way up into that other color. Okay, so yeah, that shade is lighter than I was thinking it was gonna be. I feel like it's more of a taupey color, but they're saying it's gold. Okay, let's try this. Let me try my finger. I guess it is more gold when you swatch it. It's pretty though. It's definitely like a greeny gold. So on the other side, I'm gonna use my finger. And I'm just gonna apply this all over the lid and then kind of up into that crease shade. So I'm gonna go into this one in the corner, which is Khaki. Okay, this one they actually call Khaki. And I'm gonna use a small BK Beauty brush and I'm gonna pack this on the outer corner. Oh yeah. And just kind of blend it up just a little bit into the crease. Oh yeah. That color is so pretty. Okay, then I'm gonna take that brush we used for the first shade and just kind of feather along the edges. Now I'm gonna take this really dark green in the corner called Pine Green, and I'm gonna take a small brush. This is the Morphe 213. And we're gonna start packing this on the lash line, starting kind of from the center of the eye and kind of building outward. Like that. Oh, that was more pigmented than I thought. I'm gonna take that small little brush we used, the A504, and I'm gonna go into that crease shade that we used. And I'm gonna kind of smudge along where this dark green is. I didn't expect it to move or to spread that far and be that pigmented. But I'm just gonna take a small brush and kind of feather over it because I wanted like more of a smoky kind of eye look or smoky wing. I didn't want it to be like super crazy precise. So I'm just gonna kind of feather over it. I'm gonna take a small little Morphe Ariel brush and I'm gonna kind of go over this wing part really lightly with this brush. You can even use your finger. I do that a lot, like use your fingernail and just kind of lightly feather over it because I didn't really want that much of a wing, but oh well. Let's do the same thing on the other eye, but I'm gonna switch brushes before I do the wing. All right, so I'm switching to my favorite little BK Beauty 208 brush, and I'm going to apply this green. Yeah, so this is, I'm telling you, this brush is like game changer. You need this in your life, especially if you have hooded eyes. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of this middle golden shade. I don't typically do a whole lot on my bottom lash line, but I do want to do something down there because this eye is pretty smoky. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of that color. Okay, and now I'm gonna take a little bit of this corner green, the one they actually call Khaki, and I'm gonna put this just in the outer half. Okay, we do have this topper shade in here, but I don't know. I don't really want to use a topper today. I feel like this eye look is good on its own. So I have this pencil from Charlotte Tilbury. It's one of the double-ended pencils, and this is the Green Lights shade. It's a really deep, dark, matte green. I want to put this in my waterline. The only new mascara I have is the Saie Beauty one. This came in that Sparkly Clean set that the Rose Ink blush came in, and I want to try this. I've never tried this mascara before. So it looks like it has a pretty standard wand with some, looks like little teeth here on the end. So let's try it. Okay, so it's definitely a very, very natural mascara. It's not super, super intense, I would say. It's definitely more of a lengthening formula, not a ton of volume. Probably not the mascara I would choose with this type of look or eye look, but this is the only new mascara that I have. Yeah, it's nice. It's definitely just more of a natural formula, so I probably would use this on like a no makeup everyday kind of vibe. But it's very lengthening. It's definitely not very volumizing, just based on using it this first time. So the mascara's on. Like I said, it's good, just probably not what I would choose for this eye look, but it's very lengthening and very separating, not clumpy. So hopefully it doesn't smudge. We will see. But for the lips, so I have a bunch of lip products and I don't know which one to use. I only have one new lip liner, and it's the one that's in here with the Mario lipstick, and it's smoky pink. I feel like smoky pink with this look is not what I'm going for. I feel like it needs to be a little more nude. So I don't really want to use the lip liner in here. I just don't think the color is going to work. But I also have the Makeup by Mario Moisture Glows. Again, if you want swatches of all these things, I did that in my haul video. But I have Nude Glow, Rosewood Glow, and Petal Glow. Nude Glow is a super, super light nude. I don't know if that goes with this. Rosewood Glow is very rosy, and then Petal is more of kind of a pinky mauve color. I don't know that that's gonna go either. Maybe we'll do this Dior Forever liquid lip, which I never do. I want to put on a little bit of lip liner though. So I'm going to do a little bit of Anastasia Deep Taupe. Okay, we're going to try this Dior one first, and this is the shade 100 Forever Nude. Okay, this has to be the most velvety feeling liquid lipstick I think I've ever used. I mean, it feels like true velvet. Very creamy, very smooth, very velvety. I think this is the one that doesn't budge too when you put it on, so I guess I'll have to be okay with this lip color. I think it looks pretty good with the look. Kind of want to put on a little bit of a gloss. You know what? Let's do a little bit of Petal Glow on top, just to see. Okay, yeah, that liquid lip, I can already tell it is not gonna budge. It's definitely not gonna budge. All right, you guys, this is the final look. I hope you enjoyed this video. These trying new makeup videos are just so much fun to film. I wanted to just kind of go over everything that we tried. I didn't try out everything from my Sephora haul, but the rest of the stuff will be coming in another video. Overall, I would say my face makeup looks really good. I mean, it's the first time I've worn this Haus Labs foundation, so it's hard for me to say exactly how I feel about it, but it's much better than I was anticipating. I think it looks really pretty. I think it looks smooth. I do think it's definitely more of a makeup-y looking foundation. This is not going to be for a natural makeup person. like someone that never wears a full face, just like throw something on day to day, this is not going to be for you, because it definitely does look like I have foundation on, but it looks very smooth and very pretty. I am very curious to see how it wears though. So I'm going to wear this all day long, and I will type in the description box somewhere if I have updated thoughts on it throughout the day. I obviously need to keep using it, and just one day is not going to tell everything about it for me, but it looks really smooth, you guys. It does. I feel like this would be like a special occasion foundation. It's very pretty, very, very pretty. And the powder is very good, you guys. I don't know how much you're going to be able to tell on camera, but it truly just blurred over my skin, and it doesn't look powdery. It doesn't look like I put a bunch of powder on, but my skin in the T-zone area is very smooth, and I did not use any primer today other than the milk spray. So the powder is very, very good. Even if you don't get the foundation, that powder is something to maybe think about if you need a new powder. The bronzer. Okay, so the bronzer, I feel like it is pretty. It's nice. I feel like it's only going to be for the Merit customer, which is a very no makeup, like I just threw something on my face in 5 minutes kind of a look. It is not, it doesn't go well with the foundation, I guess. It's two totally different types of products, but it is pretty. I feel like if you have the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer though, they're very similar. I don't think you need both, just one's in a stick and one's not. But it is pretty. I liked it. I don't know that I'm blown away by it though. The blush in Heliotrope from Rose Inc. Absolutely love this. All of you that told me you love it, I can definitely see why. I love the color. It was easy to apply. Really, really excited about that. The Pat McGrath blush over the top is very pretty. I want to use the Pat McGrath on its own and see how it looks, but it pairs really well with that Heliotrope color. The eyeshadow palette, you guys, I'm telling you, if you have green eyes or hazel eyes or really any eye color, but especially green eyes, this palette, I mean, I just love it. I love it. I think it is stunning. 10 out of 10. Very, very happy that I bought that. If you are not a huge green shadow person, I don't think that's going to be the palette for you, but the Dior formula in general is very good. The Saie mascara is okay. Nothing to write home about, I would say. It's fine. It hasn't smudged or anything, which is good, and it's just something I would probably pick up with a lighter makeup type look, but I do like it. Okay, the lip product, you guys, I don't think that liquid lip, I don't think this is gonna come off. It feels that set down, and maybe it's just really sticking out to me because I don't normally wear liquid lips, but before I added that Makeup by Mario Moisture Glow on top, it felt very like, almost like my skin. It dried down so well that it felt like it was just my lips with the color on them. And the Makeup by Mario Moisture Glows, I just put on a little bit of that so you can't really see it, but these I already know are 10 out of 10, and I think that is everything. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I will obviously keep using these things. You'll see them in upcoming videos, but my first impression on most of this stuff is very good. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe, and make sure to follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1, and I will see you next time. Remember, simply be you. Bye.